Yeah, in my opinion, a Djurgården player is more than what, there's more expected of them than what is expected of other players and other teams that I have been involved with, at least, due to the fact that it's such a historic organization. They've had so much success, and the fans are so passionate that you want to give them everything you can. And I think to be a player in this organization, to put on that jersey, it's just, for me, even not before I came to Europe, before I knew anything about European hockey, you know about Modos, you know about Djurgårdens, you know about Förstads, you know about these teams, and some teams in Russia, of course, but those are the teams you think about. So once you get to be on that team, you got to realize you can't be in awe of being there. I think a little bit at the beginning, I was in awe of being on a team so prestigious, and you have to kind of put that behind you and realize, okay, once you're a Djurgården player, the expectations go up, and you need to really fulfill those to keep to I don't know how to say it, how to say that if you don't do it, then you don't deserve to be there. I don't know how to say, like, this is a question that's tough to answer because there's so many different kinds of players on the team, but everybody has to fit into that same mold of giving 100%, or else, the fans are going to be on you, the coach is going to be on you. Like, there's a little more pressure that comes with it, but I think that's almost makes what has made the team successful, is guys having to play 100%, or you're going to hear it. And for me, that's fine. I like criticism, I like compliments, I like all that builds you up to be a stronger person and a stronger player. So I don't know. I think it's to be a Djurgården player, for me, in one word, would just, I don't know, would be someone that lives hockey, breathes hockey. Like, we have guys on our team that are like that, and you see that, and guys that have been here for a long time, they live and breathe, and they get fired up, and you feed off that. And I think it takes time almost to learn that from them, like how passionate, maybe that's the word, is a passionate player, a passionate, I don't know, winner is what it's got to be. And we all got to buy into that, and I think that's kind of my feeling of a Djurgården. It all began for me coming to Europe and Stockholm and Sweden. I was playing hockey in North America. I'd played professional there for 3 years, and I was with the Florida Panthers organization. And then after those 3 years up, I just got a call from an agent over here in Europe, and he said, "Do you want to come to Switzerland?" And I was driving back from Florida, which was a 55-hour drive for me. So I was sitting there with my now wife, which is my girlfriend back then, which is a long time ago now. I think it's nine years ago, or 6 years ago, actually. But and I said, "You want to go to Switzerland?" And neither of us knew where it was. We had no idea where Switzerland was. We didn't have, we don't learn a lot about Europe when we're in school. So we kind of just looked at each other and said, let's take the jump and go to Europe. And kind of went fast from then. Every year we kind of been somewhere else. We were in Switzerland, then we went to Austria, and then we went up to Finland and Germany. And then after that year in Germany, I got a call from my buddy Steve Saviano, who plays for the Växjö Lakers right now. And he said, I might have an opportunity for you up here in Sweden. Give my agent a call. And I called him, and next thing you know, I was in Växjö that year, and we all know how that year went. It was a great year for us and for me, and it was just an opportunity to kind of prove myself in Sweden. And then after that year, they went up, and they felt like they needed someone else to kind of lead the way there, more guy that had maybe played in the NHL, or a guy that had proved himself a little more, to bring them and keep them in the elite series. And I understood that too. It was my first year in Sweden, so we liked the area and stuff. And then the next year we ended up being in a little bit smaller town, Tingsryd, which is tiny. I think 3,000-4,000 people. So my wife had friends in the area and liked it too, and it was just trying to keep things going. I knew I'd get a chance to play a lot there too, and things went well again for me, not so much the team. And then after the season, I knew I wanted to kind of, go another direction and try and be on a team that wanted to win. And we'd started talking with a few teams, and then my agent called me kind of as the qualification was going on and said, Djurgården, they look like they are gonna have a tough time staying in the Elitserien, and you want to kind of wait and see what they're thinking before you make a decision with other teams. And I think, right after it happened, my agent contacted Chalet, and it happened pretty quick after that. So that's kind of how I ended up here. It's been quite a journey, but it's a great place to be right now. Yeah, so coming to Stockholm, first thing in the summer, I trained pretty hard. We have a lot of guys around us back home that have played in the NHL. We have pretty good facilities that are there, so I felt in pretty good shape coming in. But you're always nervous coming into a new team, especially a team like Djurgården that has so much history, and you're coming in and a lot's expected. It's a lot different than the year before in Tingsryd, where they were just happy to stay in the league. So it's a lot different situation. So when you come in and you talk to the coaches, the first guy I meet is Chalet. He picked me and my wife and my new baby daughter, who was only 6 months at the time, and our dog, of course, at the airport. And he's one of those guys where you meet him and it's almost you think he's a player. He's so easy to talk to, and he's so helpful, and just really made the transition pretty simple coming in, and made you feel really welcome and wanted, which was really nice. It made it easy to transition into the team and to meet the guys. And you get to the rink and you meet Keller, and you meet the training staff and everybody, and they were very welcoming and very helpful, very professional. That's one thing you notice when you come here. It's very professional and very a class organization. So that's one thing I really noticed when I came into the team. And then meeting the guys, you come in and it's a lot of older guys. You can tell, you get that feeling of guys have been here, guys feel at home when they come to the rink, and it takes a while for a new guy to feel that come in. You almost feel a little bit outside of everything. It takes a little more as to a team where you come in where there's, I don't know, maybe only 5 or 6 returning guys. Here, we had quite a few new guys, but we also had guys that have been here for a long time. So when you look at guys like Ottosson and Ovalstad and those guys, and they're guys that they've been in Ovalstad's been in North America. He knows how it is to come into a new team, and just Ottosson, he's a guy who when you talk to him, he tries to help every way he can. He's almost like a father figure in a way. He's just so genuinely a nice guy that guys like that made it pretty easy to come into the team. And I never felt like an outcast. I never felt like anything. It's never like guys are sitting around and speaking Swedish, you're not sure if they're talking about you, where there's other situations and other teams where you don't know if they're really happy you're there. And I felt very welcomed coming in from the start. And then, getting on the ice, I think once you get on the ice, everything becomes one. It's a totally different thing than being off the ice, where language doesn't matter as much, where you came from, where you played before. It's all just kind of guys at that point are trying to prove themselves and trying to become a team. So I think the preseason went well for us too. We knew it was going to take time for guys coming down from the Elite League and guys coming into the team. It was almost like it was 20 guys that had to learn how to be together. So we knew it was going to be tough. I don't know if we knew how tough the start of the season was going to be for us. I think some of the things that really brought us together were, little things we did as a team, maybe away from the ice, which was, some rookie events that we did. It's kind of a tradition here. And other teams, it's a lot different. But here, the young guys go and, it's nothing crazy, not expensive or anything. We just take, not even the young guys, I guess the new guys who haven't been in Djurgården the previous season, take them out for dinner, and then we just, you have a beer or whatever, and it kind of eases everything in, and you talk about things maybe you normally wouldn't talk about. You get to know each other away from hockey, which is which is something that's important because you got to be able to trust the guys on the ice. And I think that brings us to, you know, at the start of the season when the coaches are trying to get you to trust their systems too. So when you get on the ice, they're trying to get you to buy into everything that they have in their minds, and then that they're drawing on the board, because they can draw it on the board all you want, but if your players, or us as players, aren't really seeing the same vision, it's not going to come together. So it takes time for them to be okay, or it takes a practice where it clicks in and you're like, okay, this makes sense to me, or maybe it doesn't, and you got to, you know, either talk to a captain or talk to the other guys on the team and say, hey, you know, maybe we should talk to him, and this just quite isn't working. But I think, you know, from the start we haven't really changed our philosophies too much. It's just getting everybody to trust it and to buy in and do it at the same time is where I felt we had, I don't know, not done it, but not had everybody trust it and buy into it at the same time. Yeah, the European Trophy for me was something new. I remember when it kind of first started, I was in Switzerland the year before, and I think it just started the next season, and we had won the championship in Switzerland that year, and that was one of the things when I had signed to go to Austria. I kind of missed out on that coming back, and watching that and watching actually them go on to win the European Trophy was a little tough for me. So it was nice now to get an opportunity to play in that, and you know you're going to play against teams of a high caliber, which is great in the preseason. And for me it was a little different. I had a little injury at the start of the year, and I didn't really get to, you know, experience the full European Trophy, you know, but I think for us as a team, it was almost a little maybe too much for us at a time where we were playing so much out of our element at times that we didn't get to really focus on our own systems and our own understanding of how we wanted to play. We were reacting to other teams a little more, and it might have been something that might have kind of threw us off a little bit, I think, at the start. It was, you know, it's a great experience, it's a great tournament, it's a great teams, but I don't know if it's always the best to play against teams that are just maybe a step out of your realm a little bit. And I think we knew that going in. We just wanted to play as good as we could, and just see where we got to, see where we fit in. And I think we played well. We beat some good teams, and we had some really good games, but I don't know if we were playing our style that we wanted to play to compete in Hockeyallsvenskan. So, you know, it was an experience, but I don't know if it was the best thing for us. Yeah, the home opener was something that I had been waiting for a while. I had heard about the fans at Hovet and the way they were, and how, you know, I've seen things on TV, on TSN back home about AIK and the fans, and how they had to be cleared out one night, and you know, they had to play the game with no fans in the rink in the third. So when you hear something like that about the fans, you're expecting something more than you've seen in other places. And I think that first game against Almtuna, I don't even know how to explain it. They're so loud, and you can tell when they're singing that song before the first puck drop. I don't know what the words are, but I start humming it along now, because it gets to you, and it makes you really feel like they have pride for the team, and that really gets me going. And I think it helped us that first game get that start when we were up 3-0 on Almtuna, and that feeling of coming onto the ice. And it's every year it's the same feeling of adrenaline when you get out there. And I know like maybe sometimes you get too amped up and then the start, and then things slowly come back to reality. And I think maybe that's what happened in that first game, where, you know, we came out on fire, got a few goal lead, and then we kind of sat back and just took it all in, which was, you know, we still hung on for the 3 points, but that's really not how you want to have your first game. Is, you know, play really well and then sit back. And I think that's kind of how our first part of the season went. We were almost two different teams, and there'd be games where we'd go out and we'd play like we could for 60 minutes, and it's a guaranteed 3 points. And then we go out and we play, you know, the first 40 minutes we're a different team. We're reacting to the other team. We're sitting back and waiting and letting them come to us. And then it's, you know, 3-1 going to third period, and then we try and turn it on, and it goes 3-2, and then it felt like we had a lot of games where we just, you know, we had another 5 minutes, maybe things were different, but we just waited too long. And the thing about that was we knew it, and we could see it happening, but it was just, I don't know, it was almost like we talked about not taking too many chances, playing tight, but I think instead of playing tight and really skating, I think we just sucked into ourselves, and then teams just would come at us, and they're bound to score on us. And then I think, I don't know what the point was exactly, where we kind of just said, you know, we talked with the coaches and amongst the guys, where we need to be the team that dictates the play. We have the team that can skate, that has, you know, we've got some big guys that can forecheck and hit, and we need to be the team that makes them react to us. Instead of always watching them, watching what they're going to do. That shouldn't matter, because they're going to be reacting to us. They're going to be chasing us all night. So I think there was a point, I don't know exactly when it was in the season, but we kind of just said, okay, you know, enough's enough. This is our game, our team. We're Djurgården. We're the team teams should be scared of.